What is up, y'all? Welcome to season 4, episode 1 of Courtyard Shenanigans with your boy Classy and y'all. Listen, I ain't got no new intro for y'all. I don't even have a new podcast, photo, picture, whatever you call it for y'all. Because this season, I feel like what I have to say is much bigger than the intro, much bigger than the poster. It is what it is because the message is going to get across either way. And I got a lot to say. So it really ain't no classy tip of the week because guess what? The classiest thing you're doing right now is listening to your boy Classy N. So nevertheless, as my apostle says, nevertheless, the title of this week's episode is Alive and Kicking. And that man say, I felt it in my bone marrow. So let's get into this episode because I got something to say, baby. Right, y'all. Let's get into the topic. Let's get into the episode title this week, which is Alive and Kicking. All I'm going to say right now is I'm better now. And I got the title from there's this song that I've been in love with. You know, y'all, everybody knows I love wrestling ever since I was a child. And there's this game called SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. And a part of the soundtrack was this song called Alive and Kicking. And the lyrics say, I'm stronger now, even after everything that you did. I'm still alive and kicking. I'm better now. I'm awake now. And now I can see everything in front of me now. And that's exactly how I feel. See, before 2022, I was asleep. But now I'm awake. And let me tell you, this episode is going to be good. Let me tell you why. Because I'm about to open it. So last year, in January 2022, I was around some people, a person, let me keep it real, that I shouldn't have been around. But, you know, that person is no longer in my life, of course, because let me tell you, God shook me up, shook up my mind, shook up my spirit to this day, okay? To this day. I'm better now, though, because I'm awake and now I can see. But let me tell you what I'm awake from. After I had did what God told me to do, after being so disobedient and stubborn as we all have been, you know, the last time I hung out with that person, I was just like, I shouldn't have did that. I should never hung out with that person. I woke up. And from January 26, 2022, my life has not been the same. Let me tell you, I woke up, all I was hearing was suicide. All I was feeling, and I knew it wasn't me, but I was feeling it. It was heavy. I was seeing it. And then my anxiety kicked in. So for 1 week, I was feeling and hearing and seeing it. And it's not that I was suicidal, because I'm not, okay? But I was feeling it, and I was hearing it, and I was seeing it. And then my anxiety kicked in. And, you know, sometimes when my anxiety gets so bad, I have this thing called derealization. I was here, but I wasn't here. But usually that goes away after 1 week. So I was like, okay, I'll get better. Everything will be back to normal. That derealization went away. But that heaviness did not go away. I woke up. The only time I got peace, y'all, in my mind when it was nighttime, which is crazy. When it was around 7, 8 o'clock, I had peace in my mind. It was like nothing was bothering me. But in that daytime when I woke up in the morning, y'all, all I was hearing was suicide. All I was seeing, I was feeling, it was so heavy on me. It was like a pressure in my head because I was like, God, what is going on? To the point I was just like, God, what's going on? Y'all, it had gotten so bad, is, you know, at that time, you know, because I was still working in Kohl's and stuff at that time. So, you know, I was going to work and I was smiling and joking with people, but I was there, but I wasn't even there because I was like, God, what is going on right now in my life? God, what is going on right now in my mind? God, help me with this, please, because God, I don't know what's going on. I know that's not going to happen. You know, and I even remember one time I had told one of my friends what was going on. You know, I really don't open up to anybody. I don't. I don't. I'm getting better at it, though. And the person was just like, so you're suicidal? And I was like, no, I don't know what it is, but it ain't that. But their response was just It was, and then it was kind of like blown off, and I was just like, oh yeah, they don't understand. This is definitely a God thing because I don't understand. They don't understand, and I was just like, you know what, whatever, bye. Get off the phone. And like I said, I was I'm everywhere, y'all. I'm sorry, but I was working at Kohl's at the time, and I was just going to work, and I was just going to work and working to the point to where I was like, I ended up going to church. Thank God, because I'm telling you, my first lady and my apostle, if it wasn't for them, they saved my sanity, because I don't know where I would be right now if I didn't start going back. If I didn't start going back, going to church. I'm sorry, y'all. I was like, I don't know where I would be, but they saved my sanity, because I remember it was a time every single Sunday I did not want to leave church, because I was just like, I know when I leave up out of here, those tormenting thoughts are going to come back. I just kept feeling heavy. I was just like, man, like I just want this to go. I remember, I ended up quitting Kohl's because it was going to interfere with me going to church. And I was just like, no, I have to get my life back together, because I was just doing things that just wasn't conducive for the kingdom, that I shouldn't have been doing. So I ended up quitting. And at that time of me quitting, I had jobs on and off, but y'all know me. Yeah, I remember season 1, quit that job. I still live by that but I don't really live by it to this day because I'm maturing. But at that time, if I didn't like the job, I left. And so at that time, I didn't have a steady job. I was at home for the most part. And I remember, my mama ended up going full-time in her job. So I really had nobody here to talk to and distract me. It was just me and the dogs, y'all. I'm sorry. And I remember I used to just sleep in till like 10 o'clock, y'all. Because like my mama used to get off at 3:30ish. So I remember like trying my best to sleep in as long as I could till she got here, because I did not want to just beat up and just have tormenting thoughts, and it was just me and the dogs, and I was just like, man, God, what is going on? Like, man, like, I can't even believe I'm crying right now. Ooh, that's how y'all know this is good. But man, like, I just remember just laying in the bed, like making myself go back to sleep. If it was 7 o'clock, I would go back to sleep. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I really didn't want to get up maybe till like 11 or 12, because then I wouldn't have that much. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be alone in my thoughts, if that makes sense. I would only be alone in my thoughts for about an hour, maybe 2-3 hours, And I just remember being like, oh, like I just want this to go away. I was just at home. My mind was being tormented just from something that I didn't even understand what was going on. And I was just like, I wasn't dealing with this January 25th or January 24th, 2022. But January 25th and on, 2022, I'm dealing with this, and it just didn't go away. And I didn't want to tell nobody, because I was like, well, they think I'm suicidal, because I'm not. I just don't know what's going on, But, that really, God showed me some things during that time, and that's why I say I'm alive and I'm kicking. Because any normal person probably would have been like, I'm out of here, like I'm done, like I don't know what's going on. They would have took that and made it theirs. But see, what I did is that I remember what my mama told me. People used to prophesy over my life. I remember the promises that God said He had for me. So I said, that devil, excuse me, mama, because I know you told me not to say this word, but that devil is a lie. Was and still is a lie. So I said, this for sure is not my life. And I remember even saying, I remember even having dreams. And that's how I know that if I said it in my dream, I meant it in my awakened state and my dream state. And I remember saying one time, I said, in my dream, I said, I don't know what's going on, but I'm about to keep on pushing. Something basically, I'm just going to get through it. God is going to get me through this, because that's not happening. And I meant that. And, I had to hold on to every single prophecy to keep my mind at peace, because I was like, no, that's no. Like, I don't know what this is, but it's not going to be that. Okay? And I just held on to what, because if God says something gonna happen, trust and believe it's gonna happen. And that's something that had kept me alive and kicking. I'm better now. So when things try to enter my mind, I could, I'm starting to learn the patterns of the things that get sent to my mind that try to throw me out, that try to scare me. I'm like, nope, that's not it. This is familiar. I know how to deal with you. Yeah, some things still bother me, but I'm like, I can kind of identify it. Like, that ain't right. That's not of God. Let me go ahead and pray this away. And it's a fight all the time. It's a fight because I'm just a person who I do internalize everything. I overthink. I drive myself crazy sometimes. I be mad sometimes because I just be thinking, and but I'm alive and kicking, and I'm thankful for that. Yeah, and it's time. My bad, I keep saying but as time went on, it got easier, definitely. Sometimes it'll be stronger than the heaviness of that thought. Not, I can't even explain it because I still don't know what it is. I don't. I talked to my first lady and she was like, "You're carrying the weight of someone else." And I was like, okay, that makes sense because suicide is definitely not anything that's me. So it makes sense that I was carrying someone else's weight. And, over time it got easier. Stuff started to get easier. My mind wasn't as heavy. My spirit wasn't as heavy. At times it'd be real heavy. At times it wouldn't be. But what I started to notice was that every time I got real heavy, I got a breakthrough on something. See, I haven't been podcasting a good couple months, but let me tell y'all what's been going on this past couple months. Let me give y'all an update on me as we do this episode, and that's why I'm glad I'm still alive and kicking. My hair done got longer. My hair is red now. I don't drive no 2001 Honda anymore. I drive me a Jeep Patriot, okay? A big body, something I've always wanted me a big body car that I felt safe in, that I felt like a real man in. But when I drove that little Honda, I felt like a Powerpuff man, Powerpuff girl. But now I'm a real man. I'm driving a Jeep. God blessed me with that Jeep, because what y'all don't know is that in April of 2022, while I was going through it in my mind, I was unemployed, I didn't have no money. I got a text at 8 in the morning that my first lady said, she prophesied to me that she saw me in a new car by the end of 2022. In October of 2022, at the end of 2022, I had me a new car, a blue Jeep Patriot that I take care of. That was a blessing from God. At my job, I remember, I don't want to tell too many of my prophecies, but no, because it's kind of been fulfilled. I don't know. Nonetheless, I'm not gonna share that. My job, I couldn't stand it when I first got there. I had some people that I liked, but most of them I didn't like. If I just be real, see, now I'm good. But see, at that job, I've matured in ways that I never thought I would be able to mature. At that job, I've made friends with people that I prayed for. I have friends in my life that I prayed for in every single aspect. And I even told one of them that a couple of days ago at the time of this recording, okay? So that job has been a blessing. That job has kept me to be alive and kicking, okay? I've matured. My mindset has changed. It would be times where I would walk into a job and I wouldn't even say good morning to the manager or the people. I wouldn't even say good morning, good afternoon, good night, have a good night. But now I walk in, even if I don't even want to speak, like good morning, how you doing? I'm good. That's good to hear. That it don't take nothing to say good morning. You see, that was the old mature me. But see, I'm alive and I'm kicking, so I'm good now. I see everything in front of me. Everything don't have to be extra. And y'all know what I'm saying? So I'm good now. So even at that job, I've gotten, I don't want to say promotion because I didn't get no extra money for it. But it's to the point to where at that job, I will always have an attitude. I remember one of my trainers, she was like, yeah, because when you first started, I was worried about you. She was like, oh, you got on my deep nerves. But I knew you was going to get it. And she was just telling me this past week how proud of me she was. Because when I first started, I would call in one day a week. I would have an attitude. Left early one day. Y'all, tell y'all how I used to be a trip. I remember my first day, and me and this boy cool now. Shout out to Luis and Daniel. I'm cool with them. I remember because me and Daniel, we started on the first day. His brother Luis was a runner. And I remember, I'm an observer. And I was like, I feel like he giving him better boxes than me. So I told him that. And I left early on my first official day at work, y'all. It's funny now, and I cringe when she even tries to bring it up. Because I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing and childish. But that just shows the growth in me. This whole thing, I'm getting into another whole nother episode. But I'm just going to say it. It had to happen. Because look at me now. The growth is amazing. Everybody sees my growth, and I'm not growing just so people can see it. But it's good when people see the changes and the growth that I've made in my life. This from this episode, and I'm gonna give myself props right now. That I even feel like a whole different Anthony as I'm sitting in this room. I don't have a mic. My mics are tripping. I'm on a MacBook that came out in 2015. I don't even have the MacBook I had on seasons 1, 2, and 3. And I'm recording from, like I said, the MacBook microphone. But I'm still giving all of me because I'm helping somebody right now. I just, man, like, in hindsight, I'm just good. I'm better now. I'm not perfect. There's always trials and tribulations, and there's things that are going to be sent your way. But you have, and see, come on somebody. At that time, I wasn't on tilled ground. But, no, I ain't even going to say that, because one thing that saved me in this process is that even though I was a kid when I went to church, and I wasn't really paying attention, I still had a foundation, and my foundation was God. And it kept me sturdy, and it kept me afoot. So I was like, I don't know what this is, but I do know who God is, and I do know what God said. So I'm going to stay here and I'm staying right here. I'm staying right here. And in this whole process, I've grown spiritually. And there's things that I struggle with to this very moment. I'll be crazy. I'll be a fibber. Right now to say I don't struggle with some things and some strongholds. But it's a struggle. You know why? Like my first lady said, it's a struggle because you want to get out of it. I want to be released from all the strongholds over my life. I want to be released from tormenting thoughts. I want to be released from anxiety. And I'm not even going to say tormenting thoughts, but just overthinking. Because that was on that right there. Woo! Y'all heard me crying about almost 10 minutes ago. Or choking up. But it got me to a point to where I apologize now. I remember I said something about my homeboy Cal at work one day. Somebody was number one. And I think it was him. I don't know. Somebody was number one. I said something real fly and smart. And I have to watch my mouth. And I had, my lead came around telling everybody who was, where they was. And somebody was number one. And it wasn't me. So with my fly mouth, I said, oh, that's a joke. Because if it ain't me, Daniel, and Luis, and it's a joke, it don't matter. And I said that in front of Cal. And I should never said that in front of somebody that I consider a really good friend of mine. And I apologized. And I even threw something else in it just to, kind of not make it awkward when I apologize. And he was like, no, it's cool. I don't care. And it was time for lunch after that. And as I was driving, God was like, apologize the right way. And I was just like, ooh, I don't want, and I'm not like, oh, I don't want to. So we was driving. I didn't say nothing. We went into 7-Eleven. And guys, apologized the right way. So on our way back to work, from 7-Eleven, I apologized the right way and I feel better. So even stuff like that, I put my pride to the side. And I watch what I say around people, because these people that God had placed in my life, and I realized it yesterday, is that I don't want to mishandle them, because these are the exact friendships that I prayed for. I don't mishandle my car because I prayed for that car. I wanted a new car. So I'm not going to mishandle these friendships and these connections because I prayed for more God friends. So now I have to handle situations and people differently. Because all my life, all I've had was women friends. And this is how I know that deliverance was starting to kick in. When I got tired of being friends with all women, I wanted to be around some men. Because this is some jokes that women ain't gonna get. It's some jokes that me and Frank and Kyle can have at the table, and our co-worker Abigail could be sitting right there and she won't even crack a smile. So, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, like I need more guy friends. That's part of the healing process. You know? But I'm glad I'm alive and kicking to get to that part. Cause I'm good now. I'm better now. It ain't perfect. I remember one time I was in the shower, I just heard it ain't perfect, but it's better than it used to be. And that's real. I'm better now. I'm more mature now. See, this is probably one of my favorite versions of me. And even though I be having some warfare and things that I'm trying to get through, it's all a part of the growth. And this is probably one of my favorite anthems. And my other favorite Anthony, it was back in 2018 when I got real skinny and I was working in Sears. Man, let me tell you, I was looking good. But I'm better now. I'm much better than I was a year ago today. May 2022 is looking much better than it was. May 2023, is looking much better than it did in May 2022. I got the connections that I prayed for, and I'm getting more. I'm having conversations that are better. I guess I say like I was having crazy conversations, but having a conversation with my coworker, one of my coworkers about Dragon Ball Z, is much more. I feel much more better than having that conversation than having a conversation about love and hip hop or Real Housewives. I've even got to a point where I don't really care about reality shows. Now, mind you, yes, I do still love me some Nene Leakes. That woman is funny because I have a freedom of speech. I can say whatever I want to say whenever I want to say it. You on the radio, the bloggers, Candy, ain't nobody else ain't gotta like it. But I can say whatever I want to say whenever I want to say it. The only people that's gonna get that part is my coworkers, because I walk around telling everybody I have a freedom of speech because they trying to shut your boy down. Nah, I'm just playing. Nonetheless, though, I forgot, but yeah, my conversations have changed. Not all the way, but slowly but surely, my conversations have changed. But I'm alive and kicking though, and I'm glad I'm still here. I want to be here. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of tough going into this episode and recording this because not that I didn't want to share, but I was like, man, I didn't think I was going to, choke up like that, but I just had to get that out, But I'm here and I'm growing, I'm still maturing, and God has got so much for me, and I feel like, God has so much in store for me. I truly believe it. Like I said, I've always said it, and it's been spoken over my life from people. From a child to now, teacher used to always tell my mama, he's going to be on TV. He's going to be, blah, blah, blah. From elementary to when I got to middle school, people are like, oh, you're going to be on TV. To being, when I got to, high school, you should make a YouTube. And I was like, no, I don't want to make no YouTube video because my teeth are ugly. People have always said I was going to be something. So they spoke it over me. And I spoke it over myself. But most importantly, God said that I was going to be something. So guess what? I am something. Because guess what? If God is for us, if He is for me, who can be against me? I don't care. If the whole job, I'm just saying job, I don't want it to happen. But nobody can stop what God has for you. Nobody can. They can try, but God is going to step in and work on your behalf. He's working on your behalf right now and you don't even know it. And I'm talking to myself too, but I'm talking to somebody who needs to hear this. He's working on your behalf right now. He don't need your help. See, I gotta remember that. God don't need my help, because I sure do be trying to go in and do stuff myself. But God don't need your help. He got you. So forget if they're against you. He is for you. He is for me as well, okay? So on that note, thank y'all for listening to Season 4, Episode 1 of Courtyard Shenanigans. Listen, listen to. I'm on YouTube now. I'm on YouTube, Good Pods, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, yada 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 yada. If you want to send me a blessing, if you want to pass the plate, bless the prophet. Listen, my Cash App is Classy Ant 1997. Classy Ant 1997. You can follow me on Twitter at ClassyAnt_, and that's my Instagram name as well, ClassyAnt_. And my other Instagram is Courtyard Shenanigans on Instagram. And I hope that y'all enjoyed this episode. I hope that y'all enjoyed that I opened up and I was as real and as raw as I can get, because I usually don't do stuff like this, especially I was on here freaking in tears finna cry. That's how hard that was, y'all. But I'm alive and I'm kicking. And anybody else is going through something that they feel like they ain't gonna get out of, guess what? You're alive and kicking. I want y'all to go on YouTube and listen to that song. It's called Alive and Kicking by Nonpoint. Now, yes, it's a rock song, but just listen to the lyrics. It ain't no demonic, gory, rock music. But it's very, for me, I love it. It's by Nonpoint, Alive and Kicking. And just listen to it and think about me. And think about what because I don't listen to too much music. Because I stopped this, So, just listen to it. It'll help you because it helped me. And I just hope that y'all enjoyed this episode, and I will see y'all next week. And remember, I'm alive and kicking. Bye-bye.